Okay, so here we go with part 3 of Editing the Code and Character podcast, episode 11. We've been using the multicam tool to cut this up. Now, I was trying to get the timings right to try and make it so that when I'm on a wide shot, it is around 10 to 15 seconds. And then when I zoom in on one of the hosts, on one of these shots here, can you see that? You're not picking up my mouse, are you? I forgot about that. That's something I've got to sort out. I don't know why you don't get my mouse. Well, this is part of why we're going live, right? Because let's recap. Part 1, I did almost all of it while I was not filming the desktop. You're just looking at my head. I've just done part 2 with all the editing and just realized that you can't see my mouse cursor and you still can't see it now, I believe. I mean, even though in OBS, I have the screen capture set. I'm sure the setting is here. It says show cursor, but it doesn't work. Boom. Bear with me. Let's go. We've done it before. We're going to open up my... That's the screen. My to-do list. No, it's not that one. Let's close that. Also, we're using Pomodoro, right, to keep my timings in check. But if we go to Bevan's bench, make myself another to-do item to figure out why the mouse pointer doesn't appear when I'm recording in OBS. So many to-do items. Work out why... I can just call it OBS mouse pointer. The mouse cursor, so pointer, is not being seen in streams when using OBS. We've got to work out status pending priority. I'm going to make that high. I think it's pretty high. Due date. Damn well soon. Okay. No. I've got to fix that to get rid of that time. Save. Okay. All right. So update. That's my to-do item. I'm building a custom GPT that interfaces with that. It's my basic prototype. Proof of concept is functional. It's got some issues. There's bugs. I can't save the authentication in the custom GPT. Typical Bevan problem. Bugs. And also ChatGPT, after about 5 to 10 chats in a thread, in a conversation, the browser starts to go super slow. How am I supposed to function like that when I've got both those issues going? I'm dealing with it. Look, before we start the timer, I want to go and check if I've got any response from OpenAI about those bugs. I've spoken to them through the chat interface. Yeah, look, here we go. So I got this response from this girly person who may be just an AI bot, but I don't think so. After discussing about those 2 bugs, and there's forums open. Thank you for reaching out to OpenAI support. I've looked into the issue you're experiencing with the error message in ChatGPT and your custom GPTs. However, I won't be able to resolve it without some help from a colleague. So that's a good sign, right? I've shared your question with our specialist team and asked them to investigate further. They'll get back to you on this thread with a solution as soon as they can. In the meantime, if there's anything else you'd like to check, feel free to visit OpenAI. And then I've asked, hey, like, what kind of timings can I expect? I asked that yesterday, no response. And I've tried to bump it this morning. So, I mean, that's that feeling of being helpless, not getting anything back. Let's start my Pomodoro timer and get into the editing. Enough distractions, yeah? So what I can do is press the 1, 2, and 3 keys on my keyboard to jump between the 3 different views of Ivan, myself, and the widescreen of both of us. And so... let's just see where we're up to, because that jumps onto me. I don't know if that's what it should do just there.
All of these ways I can know. But, I think
All right, it jumps onto
creating a just creating some type of system that
So around about there, let's just jump on to Ivan's number 2. Go.
system that can be quick and easy because, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. So I do my live streams about a certain topic, okay? And
No, we will catch that, right?
okay,
We want to catch that.
a certain topic, okay? And
wrong button, dog.
type
Try
of
again.
system
Wanna go
that
to 1.
can
This is
be
1.
quick and easy because, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. So I do my live streams about a certain topic, okay? And I'm just trying to not mention the topic because we're trying to avoid talking about what we normally talk about. And one thing I've been trying to do
back
is
on Ivan.
I've been trying to cut up these longer live streams
15
into
to 30
shorter
seconds.
content, which I can then post out, okay? So then straight away,
Alright, so
it's
then-
shorter content, which I can then post out, okay? So then straight away, it's like, all right, I've got this 16 by 9. Now I'm going to get into the nitty gritty, and this is the stuff that I think about. It's like, okay, I've got a 16 by 9, so landscape live stream. I've recorded that at 4K locally, and I've got a YouTube version because it goes directly on there. Now,
might as well catch me doing
and
that.
I've got
yeah.
a
So jump to,
and I've got a YouTube version because it goes directly on there.
and then
Now,
back to Ivan.
I was procrastinating where I was like, okay, where do I edit that large 4K version? If I put it in Camtasia, which is something I use because it's simple to zoom in and out, I can zoom. It's much easier to zoom in, but you have little annoying things like you can't have multiple timelines. It just makes it difficult to maintain. Then I was like, well, let me put it in Premiere Pro, but Premiere Pro makes it hard to zoom in, but you can have multiple timelines and projects because then I want to do it 9 and projects because then I want to do it 9 by 16 so I can put it on TikTok.
Except that was wrong again.
Then I was like, well, let me put it in Premiere Pro, but Premiere Pro makes it hard to zoom in, but you can have multiple timelines and projects because then I want to do it 9 by 16 so I can put it on TikTok. And then at that point, I kind of give up. And it's like, I've got now 17 live streams that I want to edit down, and I've done possibly one.
So
because
right
I'm
there, we want to go back to
done possibly one. Because I'm always thinking, oh, well, if I do this,
and back to Ivan.
thinking, oh, well, if I do this, but then the 9 by 16, so the portrait version needs to have captions. I can only do that in Premiere Pro. I can't do that in and then to Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro. I can't do that in and then to the point I was like thinking to myself, Ivan, just, oh man, stop this. Get it out. Like today I edited three of those videos and I was like, oh, should I be zooming into certain parts? It's like, no. The whole point is to just get this out. And this comes down to, I think, the 80-20 rule. I seriously think now, the 80-20 rule. I seriously think now, 80% of my results come from 20% of the work that I put in. And it's just finding my results come from 20% of the work that I put in. And it's just finding that 20%, that most important 20%. For me right now, it is doing the live streams and posting content onto LinkedIn. Because one funny thing I've noticed with LinkedIn is that LinkedIn content seems to have a much higher shelf life than, say, Twitter. Okay, Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I don't know if maybe because I don't know if maybe because it was recently sold and a lot of people have disbanded from it. But a post goes onto LinkedIn, on Twitter, and also I'll say LinkedIn, on Twitter, and also I'll say Instagram as well, and you get a few likes and you're done. Where I noticed that with LinkedIn it kind of compounds over time, which is very interesting. I never thought of that. Like I've always understood that people go to YouTube to search for things. People go to YouTube to search for things. You actually have your videos appear in search results. So it does have a consistency, and that's why you want to put that effort in there. But LinkedIn seems to, I'm surprised. But LinkedIn seems to, I'm surprised. But I don't know if people are searching for things, but I have got like I can get people liking posts from 3 weeks ago that are consistently getting.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn.
That are consistently getting.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's its own beast though, where you've got a bit of a click.
That are consistently getting.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's its own beast though, where you've got a bit of a clique happening. You know, on Twitter, you're sort of connected with all sorts of varied people. The same probably with Instagram.
Yeah, that's it.
Whereas once you're on LinkedIn, we'd have the same pool of people who are interested in. You've already got an interested audience almost already, just from years of
maybe just
sharing
niche
connections.
Down.
Because you go to like conferences and you share with. I think your niche is just sort of that. I'm spitballing, I'm guessing, but I think that's probably why LinkedIn's doing that for you.
But
because you're already hitting the right audience off the bat.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, today I reposted an older post, an older video that I posted probably December.
How'd you feel about that? I know.
I posted probably December.
Feel about that? I know you get resistance to. Okay.
So I've got a spreadsheet.
Don't want to feel like you're spamming, right?
Because it's perfectly legit.
No, because it's literally months ago.
What I'm going to do, because I can't see these down here, so I can make them all smaller. That'll help. Make that really small. Make all of them smaller. Because I want to be able to see this and that. Both these audio files. So I can tell this one's me, this one's Ivan, right? So let's keep going.
Because perfectly legit.
Because it's
there you can see I'm talking, so we want to
got a spreadsheet.
Don't want to feel like you're spamming, right? Because it's perfectly legit.
Because it's literally months ago.
Because it's perfectly legit.
Because it's literally months ago, and I've seen people.
No, not 3. Go back.
And I've seen people talk about statistics saying that 80% of your followers don't even see your content. So I don't spam.
Just cut to me where I do a nod, right? Go. I'm not just.
So I don't spam weekly.
And then back to Ivan.
So this one was probably from October. I've got a spreadsheet where I've done fancy formulas where you actually, again, procrastinating.
You stay well organized.
And so I do like to track. And again, this is just my head, and maybe I am too much of a perfectionist. I like to know exactly if a landscape or portrait video has been posted onto my LinkedIn, because then I feel that I can easily repurpose the same content, because sometimes I create a portrait and a landscape version. Because it is different.
Get with the content creators and create a Notion workflow and sell your templates.
Oh, somebody's already done that. There's one called, but no, man, I'm always changing my Notion template.
Oh, you actually do use Notion? I've never used Notion.
Yeah, I use Notion, but I also then use Google Sheets for some things, and it's just
spreadsheets are kings.
Spreadsheets are the best, but for some things. But there's one thing, and if anyone can help me out with this, I want to write rich content. I want to write rich content in Google Sheets. I want to have where I can click on a cell and it pretty much opens up
down in a cell.
Google Docs. You can do semi things like that with notes, or just by expanding the cell. But that's one thing that's really missing in Google Sheets.
Blobs in cells.
Blobs in cells. But I mean, there's all of that stuff. But
yeah,
that's one thing I've kind of noticed. But But also when it comes to repurposing content, I do change the text and also the thumbnail as well. And I do look at, it's like, okay, this was posted December last year. But that's posted December last year. No one's going to remember that. Even if some people do, people will repurpose.
Yep. How much effort do you, asking you lots of questions, how much effort do you put into like you designing your thumbnail and coming up with a clickable title and that? Because that's me having studied the YouTube game. It's all like, get your thumbnail and your title done first. And if your thumbnail and title's no good, don't even bother making the content, no matter what your content's about. Because if you can't get a decent clickable thumbnail and title from it, there's no point in making it because no one's ever going to see it, which is an interesting take.
It is. And
in LinkedIn, I imagine LinkedIn's very much the same, except you've probably got a bit more, because you get more of a description. I don't know, but you still got to stop the scroll in the same fashion, right?
Yeah, you do. I generally go with topic first. If it's something I find interesting, that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should.
That's the topic. That's very close to the topic of what we're talking about anyway. I mean, that's the counter to all of this, all that work, all that effort, all these rules and systems.
It has to be an interesting thing to
if you're not
to do.
Because it becomes a chore sometimes. So if you're not enjoying what you're making content about, then you're going to burn out.
Absolutely.
I've heard that story over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I want to probably do later tonight after we finish recording, because I've got my nice camera set up, because I normally don't have it set up. So when I do to CMS, and now I think about it. Well, and now when I think about the 10 minutes that I covered a certain part, I'm like, well, that would actually be a nice little short form video. So I don't know.
You're building it into your long form there. You actually got bits in your live stream where you sort of speak deliberately. You're building it into your long form there. You actually got bits in your live stream where you sort of speak deliberately with an intention that you'll turn that into a short form later.
Well, the goal is always the goal would be to cut up that live stream already, but some.
Oh, where's that coming from? It's Facebook. All right, but let's cancel this. Pause this. I'll get back to you guys later. I need to cancel it. Cancel the live. All right, catch you guys in part 3.